How do you even exist? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 live-action anime adaptations no one asked for. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at the live-action films based on anime and manga that had practically zero demand going for them. Keep in mind, we aren't judging these by how terrible they are as movies or series, rather for how little a reason they had for getting made in the first place. Number 10, Ghost in the Shell.
73% of this world has woken up to the age of cyber enhancement. We really want to be left behind.
Even if this adaptation of the cyberpunk masterpiece had managed to succeed on every level, which it most certainly didn't, it was always gonna catch flack for the controversial casting of Scarlett Johansson as Major Kusanagi.
This is Major. I'm on site.
This was the straw that broke the camel's back for the mainstream media's attention surrounding Hollywood's whitewashing controversy.
Maybe next time you can design me better.
The original is such a beloved classic, and while we can appreciate the live-action's homages, the fact they tried to fix up the race issue in the most idiotic way possible didn't help change opinions.
You don't have to come here anymore. I know.
Number 9, Mob Psycho 100.
人に向けるな。つまり、いいやつになれ。
Their first mistake was thinking they could duplicate the adorableness that is Mob. The second was believing that a series with borderline mind-melting action sequences could be translated into a live-action series with equal success. To nobody's surprise, the whole thing turned out to be yet another stain on the Netflix anime adaptation train. Besides, the actors look way too old for their respective roles, and the special effects are laughable in comparison. We wouldn't be surprised if this whole thing was just one of Reagan's scams. Number 8, Bleach. Here's the thing, when it was first announced that the once great shonen series would be hitting the big screen, it was met by a resounding middle finger from fans who didn't want to see Ichigo get dragged through the mud like other anime adaptations. As it turns out, the adaptation wasn't half bad. Alas, for all its surprising charm, it totally bombed in the Japanese box office, further cementing that there wasn't any demand for a live-action version to begin with. By this point, it's like beating a dead horse with a Zanpakuto. Number 7, G-Saviour.
6 soldiers were killed in the unprovoked attack you launched on the Congressional Destroyer CST Ulysses. This was in direct violation of the Compact of Settlement of Nations. Therefore, you have 5 minutes to surrender and prepare to be boarded.
For those of you that are still worried that the upcoming live-action Gundam film is going to be a heaping pile of space shit, have a little faith.
Get out of town. Yeah, you can see we've made a few improvements from the old junkers that you and I were forced to fly in the army.
After all, there's no way that they could drop the bar any lower than they already did with this little abomination. This standalone entry somehow manages to get everything wrong about the franchise, the most egregious aspect being the mobile suits themselves. If you think you've seen terrible special effects before, then just you wait until you see these bad boys. Let's hope Sunrise have learned their lesson.
Come on, you want a piece of me? Come on!
Number 6, Kite.
Late for class?
When Samuel L. Jackson can't even make your film even somewhat decent, then you know you done goofed up.
I risked everything for you, Sawa. But now things are getting sloppy.
The original Kite wasn't anything special. In fact, it contained a whole assortment of sex and death scenes way too hardcore for the average movie-going public. Desperately trying to catch up by throwing as much gore at the screen as it can get away with, the live-action adaptation nonetheless feels like a watered-down version that tries way too hard to be edgy, all held together by shoddy camera work and an even shoddier plot. Honestly, you're better off watching the hentai.
You're useless as a codless wank, aren't you, Jeppy?
Number 5, Death Note.
Shall we begin?
We're not sure there's been a film that earned the scorn of the anime community even before it hit the screens quite like this one. Like a swarm of sharks, fans of the original occult detective gem proceeded to maul this adaptation every step of the way. From the Americanization of the cast, the character of Light acting as little as light as possible, plus the numerous plot holes it had dug for itself.
In order to capture and eliminate...
Lord Kara.
We can sympathize with it due to how much hate it received, but its own poor storytelling did little to help remedy matters. At least Willem Dafoe as Ryuk was awesome.
You humans are so interesting.
Number 4, Dragon Ball Evolution.
I will have the Dragon Ball, old man.
It's amazing how this film has somehow only gotten worse over the years, with fans still debating whether or not it truly is the most abysmal anime adaptation of all time.
Beauty awaits.
It's as if the filmmakers learned everything they know about Dragon Ball from a WatchMojo video. Nothing except the names and minor visual references in order to keep up the appearance of being faithful to the source material.
Doing good.
When Dragon Ball fans were asking for a continuation of the series that wasn't GT, this was the last thing they had in mind. Number 3, One Piece and Naruto.
You're as good as they say, Kakashi. Unfortunately, it's not good enough.
These two have yet to escape pre-production, so we're looping them together. Starting off with Naruto, we fully expect this to be a disaster, to the point where we're kind of excited to see how bad they mess it up.
Oh yeah! Naruto Uzumaki live and in the flesh!
Something tells us that unlike Boruto, there will be zero creativeness going in. Moving on to One Piece, we're a little more conflicted. Yes, Hollywood is handling one of the greatest manga properties to ever be published.
よく張り紙を読んでこい。最低額7000万ベリーの賞金首。それ以下の船長の交渉は受け付けねえ。
However, creator Ichiro Oda has gone on the record to say he has a lot of creative control as far as casting, story elements, and other essential factors. Call us crazy, but given Hollywood's track record, we're still kind of pessimistic on this one. Number 2, Speed Racer. Some despise it with every fibre of their being, others regard it as a modern classic that is grossly misunderstood by the masses.
You gotta win if you want to keep driving, and that's what I want to do.
Either way, we have no idea what prompted the Wachowski siblings to take one of anime's golden oldies and translate it into a neon fever dream of a flick.
Speed, get out of there! I can't move!
Unless you're a die-hard fan of the original, the weirdness of the Racer family and all the little nods to the show will go over your head, while those that were familiar with the property were just left asking, why?
Come on, you're falling behind.
Number 1, Alita, Battle Angel.
Where the powerful
prey on the weak.
James Cameron knows his way around a killer robot.
Well, look at you.
Robert Rodriguez is a proven lover of green screens. It seems obvious that they would be drawn to something like Battle Angel Alita, yet we still can't believe that it's actually being made.
Alita, run!
Despite a star-studded cast, the violence, dystopian themes, and mature content look severely watered down compared to the original. And yes, we can't talk about this film without mentioning the eyes. It's such a strange melting pot of a film that we can't believe it's actually coming out.
Some things are better left forgotten.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.